Okay, good afternoon, and the clock has run, and that last 9 minutes already. So, yeah, it was a reset, so I got my seconds back. Okay, so here is something which we want to share with you as a new thing for the country, but it is probably not so new, be it in Singapore, be it in Australia, be it in some parts of Europe. But it's new. For this country, we have done something. The idea of sharing this with you today is not just to show the purpose for which it was built, but try and see how, in partnership with some of you, we can apply this onto the sustainability. In the theme you had said, water, energy, and food security is what you had indicated. So we will run through this and see how we can apply the three-dimensional monolithic modular casting for sustainability purposes. So as you would see there, that little box which is hanging from the crane is poured as a three-dimensional casting into a remote controlled operated mold. It's the usual reinforced cement concrete with the usual reinforcement bars. That's what it is. But what you get is you get a whole room. It may not be as big as this room. The biggest we have done is a 10-meter long, that's about 30 feet long, and about 7-meter wide, that's about 21. So that's the maximum size we have done. But in India, we don't go that big. So that's what we brought into the country in about 2011. The first project was done. That's what you would see here. Okay, that's history of the construction. Manufacturing has been coming in, creeping in. Everybody celebrated the stage 2 when the Second World War happened. People started casting pieces and panels and columns and beams and stitched them together into the house. It was a big hit. But after about 30, 40 years, Singapore said, okay, I'm going to move into the next stage. They call it the precast, pre-finished volumetric construction. We call it three-dimensional monolithic volumetric construction. So we started bringing that in. Right now, we are onto the next stage of saying, in addition to manufacturing the slab plus the 4 walls with all the utilities pre-installed as one box, add a floor to it in the factory itself, and then take it after all the furnitures, the utilities, the air conditioners, the lights, everything is pre-installed. That's what is being done. We have done it in India. Now, when we started off in 2011, as always, people said, why do you need it in an Indian context? Because labor is so cheap. And today, McKinsey says, this is the disruptive innovation which will change the behavior of the construction industry. The process, how we do that, what are the advantages, is right in front of you. It is the same concrete and steel, hence you don't have the compliance issues with the new codes that have come into the country. The process is, it's a remote control mold. You push a button, it opens out, put the reinforcement, bring on the concrete. Before you pour the concrete, put all your utility-related service conduits, push the remote, it closes, pour the concrete. Next day morning, you take out a room. If you have 10 molds sitting there, you possibly get 10 rooms. And it is not monotonous, it is not one size fits all. It's custom made as per the architect's drawing, if it's a large project. If it is a distributed one, we do on a, from a centralized point, how do we deliver? That's what we do. So that is the magician which sits in front of you. It's a three-dimensional monolithic precast mold, all made of steel with electronics and hydraulics built in. That's what is the factory. Each mold is a factory. We don't have to have huge investments like you do in precast. You can go with one mold with an investment of 1 or 2 crores and then start off and scale it as you want. And this is the project we did for Tata Housing near Bombay, about 20 apartments, 5 stories, 33 days. From start of production to the building you see there. It was delivered, and Joe's sort of, teased you, saying it is 3D printed. No, it is 3D cast. That is precast. That's what we do, and that's what is being done. Now, that's the building. It was left as it is because in precast you have these leakages and seepages and issues of joints and blah, blah, blah. So we left it in Mumbai monsoon for 3 years, even without a plaster. So that's how it looks. And another big advantage, that whole building you saw, 5 stories, 20 apartments, that's the number of people involved in manufacturing installation. No labor, no working in the sun. You work in a factory, manufacture, put it at the back of a truck, and take it. So that will take a minute. I have 4 minutes, 25 seconds, Joe's. Oh, yeah, he knows. So that's the reinforcement case, that's the animation, you see the real pictures. You put the remote into it closes, you can choose what quality you want, what kind of opening you want from the same mold. You can hold the IP and bring on the user. Once it is stored, the vibration is there, the ring also is built. So you get a concrete, and hence you get it into a ready-to-use kind of a condition that talks about the installation, how it happens. Total time taken. That's a pace and that's a quality. That's a kind of efficiency that becomes possible in construction industry. Whoever, all of us who have been in there have only suffered the pains of it so far. So go to the next slide, please. Yep. So there are, a number of advantages and applications that we do. Anything that is required, whether you want an apartment, you want a house, you want a school, you want a hospital, you want a hotel, you want student accommodation, you want co-living, it fits into all of it. And what right now we are doing is, taking advantage of all these, challenges that the construction industry is facing and what we can bring to the sustainability world. What we did was, we took 3 programs of Government of India. Government of India was told every 50th kilometer across the road network of India, there has to be something called highway amenities, which needs to be built rapidly. Also, the same ministry said every 30th kilometer, at least over the next 3 years, we need to have electric vehicle charging stations. That was number 2. We said, okay, bring that together. And the third aspect was, when you talk about electric charging station, if you charge from the grid, you really haven't eliminated the pollution, you only transferred it from one place to another. So can you provide for mounting electricity generations in India, solar, if you're familiar with the rupee versus whatever your currency, you today get electric power per kilowatt hour from solar at under 3 Indian rupees. In fact, that's the ceiling. So that's the level you get energy. And hence, we said we will use this along with solar panel on top, and then flip the module, create the rainwater harvesting stuff. So it becomes a net zero, self-sustaining stuff. My time is up. Thank you.